it's Katie and welcome to another unboxing video. This one I'm quite excited about. I've already taken it out of its parcel, but obviously not the wrapping. This is a deck I scored on eBay. I've been wanting the Gaian Tarot for a little while, but I really wanted a specific version of it. I wanted the old Llewellyn, just because the current one you can get from Schiffer, I'm just kind of really over Schiffer cardstock, if I'm honest, and those borders are just not particularly pleasant. So I was really looking for this edition, and I don't know, we'll see if I ended up getting a bargain, because eBay can be a bit touch and go, can't it? But just to clarify, this deck, if it's the one that I ordered that I think I should be getting, is technically out of print, this edition. So just keep that in mind if you're someone who doesn't like to watch out of print deck videos. Okay, now this is supposed to be pretty new, so let's find out. Oh, it is brand new, fabulous. It's sealed, which is very good. They did market it at, or yeah, it was said that it was brand new, so you never really quite know with eBay, but it is still sealed, so that's pretty exciting. Although I always buy decks because I want to use them, but when they show up like this, you're kind of like, I know as soon as I tear this plastic, the value goes right down, but that's okay. That's not what we're here for. We're here for the cards and working with them and learning from them. So let's see if I can get this open properly without damaging this box. Okay, so it is kind of like those old Llewellyn boxes. I mean, this is an old Llewellyn box, but how it's just quite like a flimsy cardboard box, which, you know, nothing wrong with that. With the kind of, well, let's see if I can get it out. Ooh! This weird little box they have on the inside, which I suppose is better than nothing, but has always seemed a bit strange to me. Okay, so here we have the book, and I've heard some good things about this book. Really quite a chunky book, in fact. And it doesn't look like some Llewellyn books I've seen are just, they very easily could be a little white book and they're just packed with way too much white space. I don't think this is one of those. This looks like it's pretty jam-packed full of information, which is really cool. Very interesting. And from what I understand, this deck is pretty different. So I think that book might come in handy. And here are the cards. Oh, how exciting. This is a deck as I said, I've said in a couple of videos, I think now, my taste in tarot decks has just changed quite a bit lately. And I always appreciated the Gaian Tarot. I thought it was really pretty. You know, I think having more modern decks that aim to be inclusive is a really important thing. Just wasn't really my art style. But recently I've kind of gotten in to more contemporary art styles that depict a more contemporary life. So this isn't like straight up like the Urban Tarot, but it definitely feels a lot more realistic, which is something I hadn't really been attracted to before. But let's zoom in and have a bit of a look at the pictures. So quite a few of the card titles have changed as well. And the Seeker replaces the Fool, and isn't that pretty? I do love how we have little aspects of the image kind of coming over the border, because it just kind of creates a bit more dimension. And I'm not bothered by these borders at all. I often like white borders. That's a really pretty backing. It's more just borders that, I don't know. I feel like this kind of creates space for the image. It freshens it all up, which I quite like. And it's just really, really pretty and soft. It's softer than I thought it was going to be, this artwork. I don't know why. It's very pretty though. The Magician, very cool. Here we have the Priestess, which is really pretty. In some ways it reminds me of the Rider-Waite-Smith Priestess, High Priestess, just because, you know, perhaps just more like in terms of how she's sitting, and, you know, feet in the water and like something behind her and the water behind that. But other than that, it is quite different. I mean, we have the pomegranate, and she's kind of half crone, half maiden, or young person anyway. It's really, really pretty. And it doesn't feel like a too busy image, but there is still quite a lot going on. We have the gardener replaces the empress. Such pretty colours. Definitely feels like a harvest. Oh, love those colours. And the emperor. It's interesting that we've changed the name of the empress but not the emperor. He's busy at work. That's a really cool way of depicting the emperor, quite different from a lot of the other ways that I've seen, where it's a more forceful, active, out there sort of an action. Or just, I don't know, like this feels quite homely and gentle, which, you know, is not to say that the emperor can't be those things, just it's not generally how I see him, like literally depicted a lot of the time. I don't know, there's something quite tender and lovely about that. The teacher replaces our hierophant. A lot of animal life and plants and things. I wonder if the book kind of gives us a bit of information about all of this plant life. Got our lovers, swan and doves. The canoe replaces the chariot. Oh, I love those killer whales. Very pretty. Even just like the way this reflection's done, it's really pretty. I'm really liking this artwork more than I thought I would. What I saw online, it kind of looked a little bit, I don't know, not quite as delicate and soft. Like this looks like really pretty pencil or something. I'm not, you know, particularly well educated in art, but there's just something quite soft about the artwork and the colours. Like the colours are still really bright, beautiful colours, but they're not overly saturated. It's just really pretty, which is not a word that I thought I was going to be using. This is beautiful. It's orphan and an owl. Oh, it's lovely. I really like that a lot, actually. The wheel. I think, is this the new? There's some on the new deck. This is like on the box or something, and I can appreciate why that's beautiful. Really lovely. Justice. See, this is kind of, I mean, I know it's not, but there's something about this that looks a bit collage-y, like a little bit like a collage, which is kind of more of what I was expecting with this deck and wasn't my favorite thing. So like, I know it's not literally collage, but there's something about the way that everything is positioned that it looks a little bit like it could be. His little, so cute. And of course we have the heart and the feather, kind of pretty common justice imagery. The tree replaces the hanged man. And I love how this person's kind of like become the sky. It just reminds me of how we, I don't know, our thoughts are the clouds, and often we can get confused with thinking the clouds are us when actually we're the sky. That's kind of what I thought of when I saw that. It's very pretty. I love this, like the yellow leaves, they're beautiful. A death card. Washed up ship or boat. Just the way this water is done is stunning. Wow. It's a lot more beautiful in real life than I thought it was going to be. This is another one of those ones that looks a little bit collage-y, but I really just love these colours, so I'm not unhappy with it at all. Very pretty. Bindweed. I don't think I've seen this card before. So this would be the devil, yeah? Very interesting. Lightning replaces our tower card. I love how bright red the sky is. The clouds of smoke and fire. There's a lot there. It's very, very powerful, potent. The star. This is on the front of our book. And very, very pretty. Oh, just like this water kind of, and then she kind of has the universe in this little pool of water. So pretty. The moon. I love this. That's really cool. I like that a lot. I like the phases of the moon. And she looks like she's kind of like offering something up or receiving something. There's a lot of wolves and owls in this. Oh, what have we got back here? Very cool. The sun, which is on the front of the box, and is very happy and sun-like. It's really pretty. Love her pose. Awakening. Don't think I've seen this card before either. Oh, I love we got like this face in the sky. I love how that really is fairly classic, but it's a very different perspective or lens. Like it's the same image just with a different world view almost in a lot of ways. I really like that. I think that's cool. Very pretty. Gaia, the world. Are these all different flags? Oh, so pretty. I really am enjoying this kind of coming over out of the border, but just enough, like it's still quite subtle. But it does, like it adds this dimension to the card. The Ace of Air. Okay, so our suits, are they all renamed the elements? I think they might be. That's beautiful. The Two of Air. Love the greenery and everything. Three of Air. So this is quite different, isn't it? Unless, yeah, I'm assuming this is swords, although it could be something very different. Let me have a look. Yeah, so our air is the swords. I just know sometimes they change that around. So I just thought we'd read this one because it is so different to the imagery. Although I do love how this is bright red and it's holding three writing utensils. So it hints at that Rider-Waite-Smith heart for me in some ways. But I thought we'd have a quick kind of skim over what it says in the guidebook. And we get a full page for this card. And it says, a man writes furiously in his journal, his thoughts and feelings pouring out onto the page. He may be working out issues that trouble him, reflected in the image that is turned up for his card of the day practice. Pen, pencil and feathers stand in a red glass jar, anchored in place by river stones. Behind him are shelves of books filled with ideas, inspiration and wisdom. So for when we get this card in a reading, it might mean that you are caught up in a whirlwind of thoughts and feelings, either positive or negative. What rushes through your mind? What ideas, memories or scenes replay themselves in your head over and over? Use the tools of the writer to release these ideas and emotions onto the page. Consider keeping a journal as a tool for self-exploration and understanding. And then we have when you read the shadow side of this card. You may be stuck in a pattern of negative thinking and are so accustomed to it that you are finding it difficult to find your way out. Turn those negative thoughts around by keeping a gratitude journal. Each night before you go to bed, list at least 3 things you are grateful for. You'll find this simple tool to be a very powerful one. Your challenge is to break free of the trap of negative thinking. And then we have an affirmation. Insights emerge as I document my thoughts and feelings as words. I really like how directive this is. Like we have the meaning. We have a description of the image, so we know kind of what was put here and the intention for the artwork. But then we also have quite a lot of, what to do. A lot of this is around journaling, gratitude, to kind of work through our thoughts or emotions, positive or negative. So it's really quite directive and proactive, which is really cool. I like that a lot. A 4 of Air, blue eggs. I love this perspective. I don't know, it's just really beautiful. The 5 of Air, have some eagles. The 6 of Air. Oh, isn't this lovely? I like that a lot. It is really different in terms of the artwork, isn't it? From our classic Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, which is really cool. 7 of Air. We got our little map of where we're heading. I like that. 8 of Air. I'm really finding myself super curious about the intention behind this artwork. So I am really glad that I have this book. And reading that just before, I love this. Oh, I like this a lot for the Ten of Air. I love the Ten of Swords as a card. That actually gets me quite emotional. I think that's amazing. Oh, Child of Air. That's adorable. I totally forget what I was saying now, but anyway. Yeah, just that I really enjoyed reading that just now with the Three of Air. It was very, very easy to read. Oh, I like this. She has like a, is that a singing bowl? Like a glass singing bowl? Very pretty. And we have Hedwig. It was really, really easy to read. Although you have a full page, it's really, you know, easy to read, simple, clear. You know, it doesn't feel like she's trying to be overly clever, or I don't know. You know, some things just feel like that. Very cool. This doesn't feel like that at all. Two of Fire. A 3. Even though they're not like strictly color coded, they kind of are. There's a lot of reds and oranges and warm, rich colors in the fire suit, which, you know, makes perfect sense. So this is one where it does, again, feel a little bit collagey. And I understand that the images were based on photographs, or at least real people, which is great because, you know, it kind of allows you to create a deck full of real different people. But I think there are some cases like this where it does feel just a little collagey, and that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just, you know, what it looked like and a preference thing, I suppose. I like this too. A 7 of Fire. Got like some runes and things tattooed on her. 8 of Fire. That's very pretty. That sunset's beautiful. The colours. 9 of Fire. Interesting. We've got their chakras. And someone who's very, very zen. Very cool. And the 10 of Fire. It's interesting that the 10 of Swords, which is often kind of like of the 10s seen as the most negative, it's certainly in the Rider-Waite-Smith, certainly one of the more confronting images. And this deck took quite a beautiful view on that card. And certainly the 10 of Wands isn't always the happiest or most upbeat of cards, but this is quite destructive and sad. I mean, like, I get it. It's just interesting that, you know, of the two 10s, that one was kind of the more destructive one, I suppose. Explorer of Fire. Oh, right. I didn't even notice before because I was talking so much. So our page is the child. Our knight is the explorer. I like this a lot. Guardian is the queen, I suppose. And the elder replaces our king. I like that a lot. I think those are really good substitutions. I like that a lot. Ace of Water. Isn't this beautiful? I think it's just the way that that's done. Oh, that's lovely. I have seen that image before, but in real life it's just, I don't know, something really pretty and delicate about it in some way. Oh, it's beautiful. 3 of Water. Oh, they are adorable. That is too cute. That is too cute. The 4 of Water. Oh, that's really pretty. And such an interesting take on the 4 of Water, or the 4 of Cups. Even just this is beautiful. It reminds me of like a pocket watch in some ways. I mean, I know it's not. It's like a lid for a Jane, but just the way that it's sitting there. The 5 of Water. I love how so many of these cards, like I said before, they're not overly saturated, but they are really beautiful in their colours and quite alive. And this one just feels so flat, which is really quite appropriate. 6 of water. Oh, this is fun. I like this a lot. These kind of like the water in this deck is done so well, and like the sunsets and the colours, like this looks like it is real but just so beautiful. Yeah, that's something I'm definitely noticing, is the way that light and colour is used in this is just really, really well done and absolutely beautiful. Aren't these pretty? Very cool. The 8 of water. Because this feels so real, like it doesn't look, you know, like they've tried too hard to make it not look like artwork. But it does, like, I don't know, the way that the water and the colours and everything is done, it like when I looked at this image, I could almost hear that water, you know, as you push through the water, and like that sound that it makes. Because it does feel really real. Oh, this is beautiful. Very pretty. Could almost be the Judgment card in some ways, couldn't it? It's beautiful. And the 10 of water. Oh, got all the dead fish and all the other ones swimming upstream. Oh, that's adorable. Got a little crab. Oh, Explorer of Water. Not typically how I tend to see the Knight of Cups, but it is a cool take. The Surfer Kid. I like this a lot. The turtle and the fishes, that's beautiful. Super lovely. The Elder of Water. Looks like you'd just be sitting there and he'd be telling you 1,000 different stories and like daydreaming and getting lost in his own stories, forgetting that he's telling you something. That is beautiful. Oh gosh. That's stunning. I think that has to be one of my favourite Ace of Pentacles, Earth coins, whatever you want to call it. That's amazing. Oh, it cracks me up. I like that. Interesting take on the 2 of Pentacles, or the 2 of Earth. Oh, this is lovely. Looks rather kitchen witchy too, doesn't it? With all these like little tinctures and herbs and... Oh, very cool. 4 of Earth. I have seen this before. I really liked this. Those colours. Again, those colours. Love how we have our stack here, and obviously squirrels store things away, don't they? Busy at work, storing things away. 5 of Earth. That's interesting. Built themselves a little hidey hole. Keep themselves, trying to keep themselves dry and warm, but I don't know how successful they've been. The 6 of Earth. Love the sunflowers. Here's a 7. Oh, this is cute. Learning how to play. Isn't that like just that background is so pretty. Oh, this is beautiful. And I love the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Earth. She almost looks like she could be a photograph. It's really pretty. I love her blue with the purple. Oh, that's amazing. And the 10 of Earth. Oh, so overgrown and beautiful and rich. And what is this? Is this a... I don't know what that is exactly. I can't quite see. Some of it is a little hard to make out. Like I thought I saw a bird in here, but now I'm not entirely sure. But it's beautiful. Oh. This is cute. We've got a bunny and a kid playing with an apple. The kid's hands feel a little bit funny. Like they're a little bit too big. But that's the first time in the whole deck where I've felt like the perspective was a little off. That's beautiful. This doesn't even look real. It reminds me of Harry Potter's Patronus. That's beautiful. The Guardian of Earth. And the Elder of Earth. Oh, so lovely. Beautiful. So this is a deck I want to keep in order because I'm not really ready to work with it just yet. But I do want to open it up and make sure that, you know, I'd received what I paid for, because, you know, if you leave it too long, it's a bit hard to lodge a dispute, whether through eBay or PayPal. But I am very happy with this. It was brand new, and it's so beautiful. These colors and the artwork is just stunning. So yeah, finally got the Gaian Tarot, a deck I was never really sure was for me, but it's stunning, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how wrong I was, or if I was wrong, because it's lovely, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this guidebook, because yeah, it doesn't seem difficult to read. There's still plenty in here without it being too much. I don't know, I just think it's going to be a good little read. It's quite chunky though, so it might take me a little while to get through, and I do have a few decks to get to beforehand, but beautiful, and I'm really happy, really pleasantly surprised. But that is all for this unboxing. I do hope you enjoyed having a bit of a look at the lovely Gaian Tarot with me. As I said, this edition, the Llewellyn edition, is out of print, but you can get this exact same deck just with different borders and a few small changes from Schiffer these days. So the deck is available, just not this edition. But that is all from me for now. I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.